Hi everyone, this is a revision video 3. Here I am going to explain speed, velocity, and how to solve questions on speed and velocity. Okay, so let's start with first what is speed and what is velocity. So, as you can see on the screen, I have written question number 5 as define speed. So, speed is the distance traveled by a body in unit time. Speed is equal to distance traveled divided by time taken. Okay, so what is speed? Speed is distance traveled. That means how much distance is getting traveled by a body in unit time. Now, this unit time can be anything. Okay, by anything, I mean it can be 1 hour, 1 minute, or 1 second. Okay, so what is speed? Speed is the distance, how much distance is how much distance is being traveled by a body in unit time. That means in 1 hour or in 1 minute or in 1 second, how much distance is getting covered, or how much distance is a body traveling. Okay, so that is why speed is equals to distance traveled divided by time taken. Okay, this is the formula of speed. What is it? It is the formula. So this is the formula of speed. Now, speed is a scalar quantity. When we are talking about speed, we don't see direction. We only see magnitude. So when we are talking about speed, we only see magnitude. That is why speed is a scalar quantity. What are the units of speed? Kilometer per hour. How many kilometers are getting covered in 1 hour? Miles per hour. How many miles are getting covered in 1 hour? Meters per second. How many meters are getting covered in 1 second? And feet per minute. How many feet are getting covered in 1 minute? Okay, so that is speed. Let's see what is velocity. So velocity, as I have written here, is the distance traveled by a body in a specific direction. Now, what is added here? Direction is added. So, velocity is also distance traveled in unit time, but in velocity, there is one more thing, that is direction, right? So, when we talk about speed, we only talk about magnitude, right? But when we're talking about velocity, we are talking about both magnitude and direction, right? So velocity means how much distance is getting covered by a body in 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour, okay, in a specific direction. All right, so because we have direction also over here along with magnitude, velocity becomes a vector quantity. Okay, velocity can be negative, 0, or positive. Okay, try to remember this. Velocity can be negative, 0, or positive. Um, so, what is the difference between speed and velocity? Speed cannot be negative. Okay, speed can be 0 or positive. So, speed can be 0 or positive. Speed cannot be negative. But velocity can be negative, 0, or positive. Okay, so what is the formula of velocity? The formula of velocity is displacement divided by time taken. This is the formula. This is the formula of velocity. Velocity is equal to displacement divided by time taken. The units of velocity are same as the units of speed. Okay, so the units of velocity are the same. Kilometers per hour, miles per hour, meters per second, feet per minute. But what is the difference? In velocity, we also have direction. Okay, in velocity, we also have direction plus magnitude. And in speed, we only have magnitude. Now, let's see what is the difference between speed and velocity. Okay, so question number 11, what is the difference between speed and velocity? Okay, so speed is the distance traveled इन अ यूनिट टाइम, मतलब 1 मिनट में, 1 सेकंड में, 1 घंटे में कितना डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल कर रही है कोई पर्सन या कोई बॉडी कितना डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं 1 यूनिट टाइम में, दैट इज स्पीड. वेलोसिटी इज द डिस्प्लेसमेंट इन अ यूनिट टाइम, मतलब 1 सेकंड, 1 मिनट या 1 घंटे में कितना डिस्प्लेसमेंट हो रहा है. सो दैट इज द फर्स्ट डिफरेंस, स्पीड, distance, velocity, displacement. Okay, remember this. Second, speed is a scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity. Okay, so speed is scalar and velocity is vector. That is the second difference. Speed is always positive. Remember this, speed can be zero or positive, but velocity can be both positive and negative. ठीक है, speed cannot be negative. Speed cannot be negative. Velocity can be both positive and negative. Okay, so these are the three differences between speed and velocity. Number one, distance and displacement. Number two, speed is scalar, velocity is vector. Number three, speed is always positive, it cannot be negative, but velocity can be both positive and negative. Okay, remember these three major differences. Now, let's come to steps to calculate speed and velocity. So, if we have to calculate speed and velocity, how are we going to calculate it? So, you will be using these steps for numerical questions, right? For questions that ask you to calculate. So, understand these steps very, very nicely. What you see in the box, speed is equal to distance traveled divided by time taken, and velocity is equal to displacement divided by time taken. Both of these are formula. Okay, so speed is equal to the two formulas that are written in the box I'm reading. Speed is equals to distance traveled divided by time taken. Velocity is equals to displacement divided by time taken. Both of these are formula. So both of these, speed is equal to distance by time and velocity is equal to displacement by time. Both of these are formula and you have to remember these formula for the exams. So what are the three steps we use to calculate speed? The first step is calculate the distance. Okay. Second is calculate the total time taken. Third, use the formula. Okay. Then for velocity, what do we do for velocity? Three steps for velocity are: first, calculate the displacement; second, calculate the total time taken; third, use the formula. Now you already know how to calculate distance and displacement, right? We have already revised that in revision video 2. If you don't know how to do it, go back to revision video 2 and try to understand it better. Now, remember one thing: to calculate the distance and displacement, always see the diagram. Okay, so to calculate the distance and the displacement, always see the diagram. You'll get the distance and the displacement from the diagram. So remember, You have to find the distance and the displacement from the diagram. Whereas you have to find the total time taken. So whenever you're trying to find the total time taken, go to the go if you have to find the total time taken, you go to the question. All right. So you calculate the distance and you calculate the displacement. That is the first step for speed and first step for velocity from the diagram. So, so find the distance and displacement from the diagram and calculate the total time taken from the question. Okay, we will understand this more from examples. And what is given at the top are two formulas. You have to remember these formulas for the exam. Okay, now let's see our first example to understand this better. Okay, so let's see the first question. School is 2 kilometers away from Patta ground. Sania and Ilma have raced from Patta ground to school. Sania reaches school in 30 minutes, whereas Ilma reaches school in 40 minutes. Calculate the speed for Ilma and Sania. Second question, who won the race and why? So let's first calculate the speed. Now here there is no diagram given, right? Didi has said that for diagram, for distance we have to look at the diagram, but here there is no diagram given. So we will try to read the question properly to understand the distance. Now the question is, we have to find the speed of Sania and Ilma who are coming from school to who are coming to school from Patta ground. Now what is the distance between school and Patta ground? 2 kilometers, right? So our distance will be 2 kilometers. That is because the distance between school and Patta ground is 2 kilometers. Let's first calculate the speed for Ilma. Okay, so first let's calculate the speed for Ilma. Let's say Ilma's distance, 1 minute, guys. Yes, so let's say the distance traveled by Ilma is 2 kilometers, right? Because Ilma is coming to school from Patta ground, and the distance between, let's say, a school and Patta ground is 2 kilometers. So the distance traveled by Ilma is 2 kilometers. Now let's see how much time does Ilma take to reach school. So here it is given that Ilma reaches school in 40 minutes, right? So Ilma is reaching school in 40 minutes. How much time is it taking Ilma to reach school? 40 minutes, right? So what is our time taken? Our time taken is 40 minutes. Our distance traveled is 2 kilometers and our time taken is 40 minutes. Now 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Okay, 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. That is why That is why 40 minutes will be equal to 40 divided by 60 r. Okay, which is equal to 2 divided by 3 r. So how many hours did it take Ilma? It took Ilma 2 by 3 hours. Now we will apply the formula. Okay, what was our formula? Our formula was speed is equal to distance traveled by time taken. This is our formula. Speed is equals to distance traveled by time taken. Now what is our distance? Our distance is 2. And what is our time? Our time is 2 by 3. So this will be something like this. Distance is 2. 2 divided by 2 by 3. This will be equal to 2 into 3 divided by 2. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. That is why this will become 3. So what will be Ilma's speed? Ilma's speed is 3 kilometers per hour. Okay, so 3 kilometers per hour is Ilma speed. Okay, so what did we do? The first thing we did is we found out the distance. Where did we find out the distance? We found out the distance from the question. So in the question it's given the school is 2 kilometers away from Patta ground. Here we got the distance. Then we found out the time. Time is also given in the question. Ilma reaches school in 40 minutes. That is why 40 minutes is the time. Then what did we do? We converted minutes into hours. So 40 minutes is equal to 2 by 3 hour. Then what did we do? We applied the formula. Speed is equals to distance traveled divided by time taken. Okay, so we got the answer as 3 kilometers per hour. Similarly, we are going to do for Sania. First, we are going to find the distance. Sania is also going from school to is going from Pattaground to school. Sania is also going from Pattaground to school. That is why the distance will be same. Ilma और सानिया दोनों स्कूल जा रहे हैं पट्टा ग्राउंड से. That is why the distance traveled will be the same for both of them, 2 kilometers. Sania, how much time is taken by Sania? 30 minutes. Similarly, like we did for Ilma, we will calculate time, we will convert minutes into hour. So 30 minutes will be equal to 30 by 60, that is half an hour. Okay, then we will apply the formula. Speed is equals to distance traveled by time taken. So we will apply this formula and we will get the answer as 4 kilometers per hour. The second question is who won the race and why? Okay, so if you for this question we will see their speeds. Okay, so if you see Sania's speed is 4 kilometers per hour. Okay, this is 4 kilometers per hour. So Sania's speed is 4 kilometers per hour and Ilma's speed is 3 kilometers per hour. Okay, whose speed is higher, 3 or 4? 4 is higher, right? That is why, because Sania's speed is higher, it is 4, not, and 3 is lower. That is why Sania won the race, because her speed is higher. Okay, let's move on to our second question. So our second question is, a truck is moving from A to D along the path shown in the diagram. The truck takes 2 hours to reach D from A. What is the speed and what is the velocity? Okay. All right. So what are we going to do first over here? First we are going to calculate. Let's say first we are going to calculate the speed. Okay. What do we need for speed? First we need the distance. How do we calculate the distance? We calculate the distance by identifying the path. ठीक है, ट्रक कहाँ से कहाँ गया, फिर कहाँ से कहाँ गया, वो हम पाथ पहले फाइंड आउट करेंगे. सो इसमें लिखा है truck moves from A to B along a path shown in the diagram. So diagram में, so for distance guys, remember for distance go to the diagram. अगर diagram दिया है तो distance diagram से find out करना है. ठीक है, तो ट्रक पहले ए से बी जा रहा है, फिर बी से सी जा रहा है, फिर सी से डी जा रहा है, राइट? ए से बी, बी से सी, सी से डी. ओके, ए से बी के बीच में कितना डिस्टेंस है? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. ठीक है, 7 डिस्टेंस है. हाउ डू वी नो? वी कैलकुलेट द बॉक्सेस. सो डिस्टेंस इज इक्वल टू ए बी प्लस बी सी प्लस सी डी, राइट? ट्रक पहले ए से बी जा रहा है, फिर बी से सी जा रहा है, फिर सी से डी जा रहा है, इसलिए डिस्टेंस क्या होगा? ए बी प्लस बी सी प्लस सी डी. ठीक है, तो पहले पाथ देखो, पाथ क्या है? ठीक है, ट्रक का पाथ क्या है? ट्रक का पाथ क्या है? ए टू बी, बी टू सी, सी टू डी. ये ट्रक का पाथ है, इसलिए डिस्टेंस क्या होगा? ए बी प्लस बी सी प्लस सी डी. अब हमें कैसे पता चलेगा ए बी बी सी सी डी क्या है? डायग्राम से पता चलेगा, राइट? सो ए बी क्या है? ए बी के बीच में कितने बॉक्सेस हैं? 7 बॉक्सेस हैं. दैट इज वाई ए बी इज इक्वल टू 7. ठीक है, उसके बाद बी सी के बीच में कितने बॉक्सेस हैं? कैलकुलेट करिए. 1 2 3 4 5 6. बी और सी के बीच में 6 बॉक्सेस हैं. दैट इज बाई 6. फिर सी और डी के बीच में कितने बॉक्सेस हैं? सी और डी के बीच में फिर 7 बॉक्सेस हैं, तो 7. So 7 plus 6 plus 7 is equal to, how much is it equal to? 14 plus 6, 20. 20 क्या? किलोमीटर्स. किलोमीटर्स क्यों? क्योंकि आप अगर नीचे देखोगे तो यहाँ पर it's given 1 box is equal to 1 kilometer. 1 box is equal to 1 kilometer. That is why 20 boxes will be equal to 20 kilometers. So we found out that um, the distance is 20 kilometers. Okay. Now next we are going to find time. What is our second step for finding speed? Find the time. Where will we find the time? Where will we get the time? The time will be given in the question. So if you see the question, the truck takes 2 hours to reach D from A. This line which Didi has underlined, the truck takes 2 hours to reach D from A. That is why our time is equal to how many hours? 2 hours. Okay, so we found out distance and we found out time. Now we will apply the formula. What is the formula? Speed is equal to distance divided by time. So speed is equals to distance divided by time. This is nothing but the formula. So we will use the formula of speed. Now what is distance? Distance is 20 kilometers. And what is time? Time is 2 hours. So that means speed is equals to 20 by 2. Speed is equals to 20 divided by 2. That is equal to 10 kilometers per hour. Okay, so what do we get as our final speed? Our final speed is 10 kilometers per hour. Now similarly, let's see how will we find velocity. Okay, so what is the first step that we take for velocity? We find the displacement. For velocity, we find the displacement. Now for displacement, we need two things. The formula of displacement is final position minus initial position. Okay, so these are the two things we need to find velocity. Final position minus initial position. Now final position means, sorry, initial position क्या है? ट्रक ने कहाँ से स्टार्ट किया? तो ट्रक ने कहाँ से स्टार्ट किया? ट्रक ने स्टार्ट किया ए पॉइंट से. तो ए पॉइंट क्या है ट्रक का? इनिशियल पोजीशन, राइट. और ट्रक कहाँ पे जाके पहुंचा? डी पे पहुंचा, राइट. सो ट्रक का फाइनल पोजीशन क्या है? डी. ठीक है. सो व्हाट इज द इनिशियल पोजीशन ऑफ द ट्रक? ए. व्हाट इज द फाइनल पोजीशन ऑफ द ट्रक? डी. How much distance is there between initial position and final position? Let's count the boxes. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 boxes. So between initial position and final position, initial position मतलब क्या? जहाँ से ट्रक ने स्टार्ट किया. और फाइनल पोजीशन मतलब क्या? जहाँ पे ट्रक आके रुका फाइनली. ठीक है. तो इनिशियल पोजीशन एंड फाइनल पोजीशन के बीच में कितना डिस्टेंस है? 6 किलोमीटर्स का डिस्टेंस है. किलोमीटर कहाँ से मिला हमको? यहाँ से मिला किलोमीटर. तो कितना है डिस्टेंस? कितना है डिस्प्लेसमेंट? डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज 6 किलोमीटर्स. सो वी विल राइट डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज इक्वल टू 6 kilometers. Now what are the next thing that we are going to find? We are going to find the time. The time is the same. तो क्वेश्चन में दिया है टाइम ऑलरेडी, that the truck takes 2 hours to reach D from A. The truck takes 2 hours to reach from D, to reach D from A. So that is our time. What is our time? Time is equal to time taken is equal to 2 hours. Now we'll take our third step. Our first step is finding displacement. Our second step is finding the time taken. Our third step is applying the formula. So what is the formula of velocity? The formula of velocity is displacement divided by time taken. So we will write the formula: displacement divided by time taken. So our formula is velocity is equal to displacement divided by time taken. Our displacement is 6 kilometers. Our time is 2 hours. We are going to put this in the formula. So we'll put the values in the formula. So we put the values in the formula and we get 6 by 2, that is 3 kilometers per hour. Okay, that is our velocity. So for velocity, what did we do? We found the displacement, number one. Second, we found the time taken. Third, we applied the formula. We wrote the formula and we put the values in the formula. These are the three steps we took to find out velocity. Okay, so that is how you find out distance and velocity. Sorry, speed and velocity, right? So our speed comes out to be 10 and our velocity comes out to be 3. Always remember, when you are writing the velocity, also mention the direction. So 3 kilometers towards south. Why towards south? क्योंकि वो कौन से डायरेक्शन में जा रहा था? साउथ डायरेक्शन में जा रहा था, राइट? A was here, D was here. तो ए से डी कौन सा डायरेक्शन है? साउथ डायरेक्शन है. सो ऑलवेज मेंशन द डायरेक्शन. सो वेलोसिटी इज 3 किलोmeters per hour towards south. Always mention the direction. All right. Let's see the third example now. Aniket's house is at place A. The diagram given below shows the path along which he travels to school, which is at D. Okay, what is Aniket's speed and what is Aniket's velocity? So let's first find out what is Aniket's speed. Okay, first let's find out Aniket's speed. So for speed, what is the first step that we take? We find the distance. So what is Aniket's distance? Aniket is first going from A to B. So AB. Then he is going from B to C. So BC. Then he is going from C to D. So CD. Right? Then, so what is AB plus BC plus CD? Look in the diagram. AB is 500. BC is 700. Look in the diagram. It is given in the diagram. Plus CD. CD is 300. So 500 plus 700 plus 300 is how much? 1500 meters. Also write the unit. Meters, kilometers, ये सब भी लिखना है. So 1500 meters. Then what is the time? So our first step is finding the distance. Our second step is finding the time. Okay, so what is the time? Our time is 8 plus 11 plus 6. This is also given in the diagram. So if you see the diagram, 8 plus 11 plus 6. Right? So this is given in the diagram, 8 plus 11 plus 6. Okay, so what is our time? Our time is 8 plus 11 plus 6, which is equal to how many minutes? 8 plus 6 plus 11. And now we are going to find the speed, right? So we are going to apply the formula of speed. So third step. First step, we found the distance. Second step, we found the time. 1500 meters is the distance. 25 minutes is the time. Now we will apply the formula. What is the formula of speed? Distance traveled divided by time taken. So this is our formula. What is our formula? Speed is equal to distance traveled divided by time taken. Now we will put the values of distance and time in the formula. So what is our distance? 1500. What is our time? 25. We will put this in the formula. So what will we get? 1500 by 25. We'll get 1500 by 25. Now what we will do? We will start solving this. So let's divide both 1500 and 25 by 5. So 300 into 5 is equals to 1500. So we'll write 300 over here divided by 5. Again we'll cross it. So 300 divided by 5 is how much? 60. So what will be our final answer? Our final answer will be speed is equal to 60 meters per minute. बी केयरफुल ऑफ द यूनिट्स. ठीक है, पहले पिछले वाले क्वेश्चन में किलोमीटर्स और आर यूज हुआ था, तो हमने आंसर में भी किलोमीटर्स और आर यूज किया था. यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन में मीटर्स और मिनट्स है, तो इसलिए हम आंसर में भी मीटर्स और मिनट्स यूज करेंगे. ठीक है, सो व्हाट इज स्पीड? स्पीड इज 60 किलोमीटर्स, सॉरी 60 meters per minute. Speed is 60 meters per minute. That is how we found out our speed. Now let's find our velocity. Okay, so we are going to find out our velocity. What is the first step that we take to find out velocity? We find out displacement, right? So, and what is the formula of displacement? Final position minus initial position. So we will find displacement, which is equal to final position minus initial position. Now, what is the initial position? What is Aniket's initial position? A. अनिकेत ने A से स्टार्ट किया था ना चलना, तो इसलिए अनिकेत का इनिशियल पोजीशन है A. और अनिकेत फाइनली कहाँ पे पहुंचा? D पे पहुंचा, तो D उसका क्या हो गया? फाइनल पोजीशन. सो D इज अनिकेत्स फाइनल पोजीशन. D और A के बीच में कितना डिस्टेंस है? It's given in the diagram already. What is the distance? What is the length between A and D? 1000 meters, है ना. ए और डी के बीच में कितना लेंथ है? 1000 meters. दैट इज वाई डिस्प्लेसमेंट विल बी 1000 meters. ये हम डायग्राम से पता लगा रहे हैं. डिस्प्लेसमेंट हम कहाँ से पता लगा रहे हैं? डायग्राम से पता लगा रहे हैं. तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज इक्वल टू हाउ मच? 1000 meters. ओके, सो वी विल राइट 1000 meters. Now we will find out the time taken. So for time taken, we are going to find it from the diagram again. That is 8 plus 11 plus 6. जैसे हमने speed के लिए किया था, right? 8 plus 11 plus 6. How much is it? 25. So time taken is equals to 25 minutes. So what was our first step? Displacement. Finding the displacement. We found the displacement to be 1000 meters. Our second step was finding the time. So we have found our time as 25 minutes. Now what is our third step? Our third step is finding the velocity. So we will apply the formula of velocity. What is the formula of velocity? Velocity is equal to displacement divided by time taken. So we will write the formula of velocity. After writing the velocity, after we have written the velocity, we will put the values of displacement and time in the formula में अपने numbers डाल देंगे. तो displacement कितना है 1000, time कितना है 25. तो हम formula में 1000 और 25 लिख देंगे. So velocity is equal to 1000 divided by 25. Okay, let's first divide both 1000 and 25 by 5. तो 1000 कैसे मिलता है? 25 into 200 is equal to 1000. So we'll write 200 over here. 200 divided by 5. What is 200 divided by 5? 40. So our velocity will be equal to 40 meters per minutes. Right? So we've written the velocity here. Velocity is equal to 40 meters per minute. Alright, so we found the speed, we found the velocity. Alright, so this is how we found the speed and the velocity here. Similarly, for other questions also, first find the distance, then the time, then apply the formula. So here for the fourth question also, we have first found the distance from the diagram, then we found the time from the question, then we applied the formula of speed. Here also, first we found out the displacement, then the time, then the formula. Right? For all the questions, first find out the distance in a case of speed, or a displacement in terms of in case of velocity. For speed, find out the distance. For velocity, find out the displacement. Second step, find out the time. Third step, find out the formula. Okay, all the questions, the same steps are being followed, right? Please make sure you're going through the fact sheet nicely to understand the other questions as well, and reach out to Didi in case of any questions. All right, bye bye.